Commentary will start in 5. Welcome to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the FA Cup third round clash. It's Crystal Palace against Everton here on the Commentary. We're also live on JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2, Focus on Football, and my very own personal Twitch channel as well. Joining me, Russ Vernon, will be Bruno Winter for this game. And just before we do that, let's just bring you today's team news. Crystal Palace boss Roy Hodgson has made 2 changes to the side that beat Brentford in the Premier League last time out. Mateus Franco, the £26 million summer signing, makes his first Palace start in the place of the injured Michael Elise. Jeffrey Schlupp also returns to the side with Jordan Ayew on AFCON with Ghana. Sam Johnston remains absent with injury, so Dean Henderson continues in goal. Everton boss Sean Dyche moved to a 5-4-1 formation of Wolves last weekend, which saw Everton get beaten by 3 goals to 0. The manager has reverted tonight to his tried and tested 4-4-1-1, with Onat Danjuma coming in for Michael Keane. João Virginia starts in goal in place of Jordan Pickford, who is rested. Seamus Coleman replaces Nathan Patterson at right back. Dominic Calvert-Lewin keeps his place up front, with Beto on the bench. Let's start off and read you the team news for Crystal Palace. It's Henderson in goal, Klein, Anderson, Gertie and Mitchell across the back, Lerma, Richards in the 2 holding, Franco, Eze and Schlupp behind Mateta in attack. On the benches, Matthews, Tompkins, Riedewald, Ademola, Ozo, Hughes, Adama, Aboué, Edward and Odson Edward. As for Everton, they landed with Virginia in goal, Coleman, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikalenko across the back. Garner and Onana in the midfield, Danjuma, Harrison and McNeil behind the lone striker of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Their bench is Pickford, Patterson, Keane, Beto, Gomez, Godfrey, Chimete, Hunt, and Dobbin. Mackenzie Hunt is from the under-21s, whereas Dobbin has been in and around the first team for a couple of weeks now. Mackenzie was on the bench last time out for Everton in the game against last time out for them in the Premier League, which was away to Wolves, which they were comprehensively beaten by 3 goals to 0. So then this should be a good game today. Everton will be the team that will kick us off. Selhurst Park Palace in their traditional strip of what the different strip is blue with red and white stripe straight down the middle, blue shirts, blue socks and shorts. Palace, Everton all in grey, as is a ball hit forward there by Virginia, looking for the run of Calvert-Lewin. There's for Seamus Coleman down the line. It goes headed out of play for a throw-in to Everton early on, headed away by Jefferson Lerma. 18 coming up close, 20 minutes gone. Roy Hodgson there in a coat as it's a bristly cold evening at Selhurst Park as the ball's up towards Jack Harrison in the middle of the park. It breaks for Jefferson Lerma, who gets it all the way back to Virginia in goal as Everton start off with possession. It remains goals in the opening exchanges. Hopefully you're going to be enjoying the coverage tonight. A big shout out to Isabel Reeves, who says, "Evening lads, amazing graphic tonight. Not sure I'm a fan of the start tonight, but good luck for the commentary. Hope it's a good game. Hope Paul is okay after the comment earlier this week." Yes, Paul is doing okay. Thank you, Isabel. Thanks for your comment as well to support him early on in this week from everyone here at the commentary. We all do appreciate that. We was speaking about that in our private chat that we've got with the team here. Dan Juma picks up for Everton over on that far side wing. Our co-commentator in Bruno in a few moments' time here is Onana trying to get the ball through, looking for Jack Harrison, but he was too much on that ball as he was looking to try and pick out Calvert-Lewin as well. 90 seconds good in this game then. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. First words from Bruno. And Bruno, this should be a good game today. What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It is going to be an interesting game because we regularly see in the early rounds of the FA Cup Premier League sides often change and rotate a lot of players, but it isn't really the case in this game. Both sides making 3 or 4 changes each, but it's very strong sides for an early round, and I think there could be goals in this game.
Yes, could be some goals in this. The Palace fans in and around is making a lot of noise early on here. 2 minutes gone, and it's 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Everton. The ball is looped up into the air there by Branthwaite, who had to get on to clear that ball away. Just to go through the officials, which have not done yet. Referee tonight is Chris Kavanagh, assisted by Simon Bennett and Daniel Leach. Tim Robinson is a fourth official. We've got 3 people in the VAR room today. Is Craig Pawson, the main one, assisted by Natalie Aspinall, and the support VAR is Michael Salisbury. Wondering how that will work this evening. We'll have to wait and see. No, hopefully there's no VAR controversy in this game today. Some of the FA Cup ties will have VAR in it, some of them will not. As a shot comes in from Jeffrey Schlupp, saved in the end by Virginia just there. That was an early effort on goal for Crystal Palace from Jeffrey Schlupp, who comes in to the side this evening if you missed the team news at the start of the programme. We'll recap the team news shortly as there comes Everton with possession. It's Tarkowski to Coleman. Back to James Tarkowski, who will look to get the ball forward. Back into Seamus Coleman, who's making a run down this right side, and a wonderful ball looking for the run of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Out comes Dean Henderson, who watches the ball go out of play. With some of the changes then, Bruno, which you heard me mention at the start, Everton reverting back to their tried and tested 4-4-1-1 as we see that strike again from Jeffrey Schlupp, which was saved by Virginia, comes into the side. Lot made it to move to a 5-4-1 on the weekend and lost to Wolves. Why do you think Dyche has reverted back to this formation, which is obviously worked well for him so far, as if you just want to come in there as Everton the centre circle with James Garner?
Yeah, well, I think he would have been disappointed with the performance at Wolves. A tough loss 3-0. And Everton were very disappointing. And they've been playing well, other than that game, really, with this sort of 4-4-1-1. And maybe it's going to bring out the best of players like Jack Harrison and Dwight McNeil, who have had very productive seasons so far.
Yes, it is James Garner again for Everton. On to Dwight McNeil, the aforementioned Dwight McNeil, which Bruno has just mentioned there. Here they come now with Garner again into Amadou Onana, and he drops it all the way back to James Tarkowski, who will switch the play out to the left-hand side, and that's a poor touch in there from Mikalenko, but Branthwaite can get there for Everton and regain possession for the Toffees, who, on the back of the 3 straight defeats, all the Toffees in the last 6 matches. Just to tell you, in the last 6 matches before these 2 sides, and I'll for Crystal Palace, it's just 3 defeats, 2 draws and 1 win in the last 6 matches for the Eagles, who have Dean Henderson on the ball at the moment, and Italy's long looking for the brilliant chest down there by the number 11 Franco into the side this evening. Here's Eze, who will try and make Palace take, as he drops it back now to the path of Nathaniel Klein, who helps it back into the path of Joachim Anderson, who will look to come forward, the former Fulham defender. Back he goes now to Dean Henderson, who formerly of Manchester United, had plenty of loan spells while he was Old Trafford, and now finds a permanent home here at Selhurst Park, and one which we'll have to be looking to do for a very long time, as Everton just clear this ball away as Palace trying to come forward down their left-hand side, which is where they've been targeting Everton in this game so far. Just switching our attention to Crystal Palace. Obviously, there's been a couple of changes. We just see Matetu can't go and end of that through ball there. They made a couple of changes. One enforced in place of, well, both enforced relays. We see Calvert-Lewin just keep the ball and play up against Anderson, and Anderson just clears it away off of the Everton winger out on that far side, the left, but the offside flag went up against Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so that attack comes to an end. It was Arnat Danjuma out there who was flagged, the ball was struck against from Anderson, and Calvert-Lewin was offside as he put the ball into the penalty area. Going back to the question I'm going to ask you, Bruno, Palace forced into a couple of changes. One enforced to injury, release it out, hamstring injury. Franco comes in for him. Schlupp returns to the side as well, as Donaio remains. He's out as he's now gone off to the AFCON. Io's been a big player for Palace in recent weeks. Good player, being in decent form. Do you think Palace will miss Jordan Ayew tonight, or do you think Schlupp, who's coming for him, can make a big difference.
Yeah, I think they'll miss Jordan Ayew certainly on the ball and off the ball. He's one of their better players. Um, he used to be an out and out number 9, but he plays off the left now, and he's effective from that position. That Ayew, Eze, and Elise, sort of midfield, attacking midfield three, have been very productive for Palace, and they'll miss their two big misses there. But I think that Mateta and Schlupp coming in, I think that they're valuable players to this Palace side, and they know what Roy Hodgson's about, and they won't put a foot wrong.
This is Mateta now coming down the left-hand side into the penalty area. It goes. Schlub was there, but he can't keep the ball moving for Crystal Palace. Dwight McNeil will switch the play well. Breaks into the Nathaniel Klein, who can bring it under his spell, who's being tripped by Onad Danjuma. Says he got the ball. His boss, Sean Dyche, approves of that and claps him. Isabel says she's mostly excited to see Eze play tonight. This evening. Thank you for getting in touch, Isabel, and thank you for your kind words for Paul the other day as well. And yes, a lot of people always get a few surprises in the FA Cup early on, Isabel. You're quite right there. And hopefully that is another one with a lot of people probably expecting Everton to win after their resurgence under Roy Hodgson, as the ball is played across there to this left-hand side for Crystal Palace's Lerma takes over from Mitchell. Coleman is there, clears it against the cameraman down on the touchline, and is out to play for a throw, which Palace will take quickly, and they've got it back with Mark Gate into the centre circle, and Joachim Anderson inside his own half across to the far side, and Nathaniel Klein midway inside the Palace half, coming up towards halfway. Here's Joachim Anderson, who goes out wide to that touchline where the Franco came into the side, is hugging that touchline. Down the line he goes to Richie Eze. Eze there does well, but so too does Amadou and Nana, who come across well there to win that free kick. And that's good defensive play from Amadou and Nana to win his side a free kick. That challenge there from Richie Eze is one that rugby players would like to see, and fans would like to see as well. Coming up towards 10 minutes gone, then Palace 0, Everton 0 in the FA Cup third round. As Schlupp goes down inside the Palace half, no free kick given as Jack Harrison picks up the ball, plays it to the left hand side of Mikalenko. Down the line he goes to Harrison, who sees Danjuma making the run down the line and tries to find him, and he does. On at Danjuma, taking on Richards and gets past him. Danjuma with a low ball in, cleared away the near post there by Joachim Anderson. Comes back to Jack Harrison, who delivers a wonderful crossing towards the back post. Dwight McNeil fetches it down on that far side. Drops it back to Seamus Coleman, into the side tonight in place of Nathan Patterson. Back to McNeil and Nana. And Amadou and Nana can come forward. Back it goes as it is Tarkowski and now Branthwaite inside the centre circle, inside the Palace half. All the Everton outfield players are inside the Crystal Palace half. So if Palace can get this ball back and break quickly and players stay on side, we could be on for a good counter attack. As is Tarkowski just on halfway, sends the ball in towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin, can't on the end of it, racing towards the penalty. Mark Gate head steadied down, but he finds the feet of Henderson, who collects it after the header back there from Mark Gate, the captain. And that's a good bit of play again from Everton, trying to pick out Calvert-Lewin, and then Palace deal with that brilliant there. Bruno, what do you make of that move there from Everton?
Yeah, the first real sort of good attacking move from either side, really. Nice spell of possession for Everton, and they've probably got the more dangerous attacking players as a whole, and I think that's what they need to do. They need to move the ball around quickly, get it into Harrison and McNeil, and try and find a way to get the ball to Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the box.
Yes, here come Crystal Palace with Mark Gate to try and get this ball forward. Here's Eze, good bit of movement here now, and can fetch this ball forward. Wonderful bit of play. Mateta links up well with Lerma. Jefferson Lerma does well. Takes it away from Jack Harrison, and he gets it back from Gay. Now Eze controls well, but Palace have won a free kick foul on Lerma then. Chris Kavanagh, the referee, says the ball was moving as Palace tried to steal that free kick quickly. And it was indeed moving. But here they come now with Eze. What can he do? The aforementioned Eze is Isabel says she's looking forward to seeing tonight. And Eze goes down. Free kick to Everton, booking for diving against Eze there, and Everton will have a free kick. And Eze booked, having a word with Chris Kavanagh. Don't think he dived there. Bruno, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's one of those, but I think Eberechi is a player that comes with a little bit of a reputation for going down quite easily. I think the referee, he's probably seen that beforehand and thinks that's maybe one of those moments where he dives. But I think in that situation, he probably has just clipped, and maybe the free kick should be given in favour of Palace and not against them.
Yes, throwing then to Crystal Palace after the free kick from Everton was poorly executed. Straight out to play for a throw in on that far side, which Nathaniel Klein will take. Lerma's there, brings it down well. And then Everton get the ball back as he comes on at Danjuma down the left-hand side. Danjuma with the ball in towards the penalty, looking for Harrison. Cavallon was making a run to the far post there, if he could have found him as well, but he breaks now for Tarkowski. James Tarkowski with one ball in towards the penalty, looking for the win of James Garner. And he goes through to the goalkeeper behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. Remains 0-0. If you're just tuning into us right now. Yes, and Isabel, I think, got this quite spot on here, Bruno. She says Eze kicked the Everton player and then went down, and I think that's probably why the free kick wasn't given. It probably wasn't just clip first, but he probably didn't see that. He probably just saw him kick, having Nick, the Everton player, then go down looking for the free kick, and that's probably why he booked him for diving next to us, and the free kick went against him. As Mateta can't go into this long ball forward, and Anana drops it back to Tarkowski, who's under pressure from Mateta, so has to go all the way back there brilliantly to Yao Virginia. And now Everton can start again. Long ball forward, looking for the run of Coleman. Mitchell and Schlupp and Gay all combine to clear it away for Palace. Is now for a throw, which will be taken by James Tarkowski. Back he goes to Yao Virginia, and Everton will start again on the back with the goalkeeper. It was 15 minutes on the clock, 14.5 minutes gone. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. You're listening to live alternative optional commentary of the FA Cup action between Crystal Palace and Everton. Your commentary team is Russ Vernon and Bruno Winter this afternoon. Luke Turton is the man behind the scenes doing all the technical stuff and making sure everything goes out well and working for myself and Bruno, which is very much appreciated by myself and Bruno this evening to Luke. So thank you very much for that, Luke, as here comes Everton now with Garner across now to that far side. Branthwaite, who can get the ball forward for Danjuma, breaks for Danjuma anyway after off of Anderson's head. Danjuma with a cross in, and he realised he was looking towards Jack Harrison, who's on loan from Leeds United, to give him permission to play by the Championship outfit tonight. As here comes Joachim Anderson to get the ball forward, and he runs harmlessly through into the path of Yao Virginia. Again, 15.5 minutes gone here then. Still Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. And give his thoughts on the opening 15.5 minutes is Bruno Winter.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow burner, really. Neither side have been able to get the ball into good attacking areas or into the penalty box, really. Just half chances, really. Jeffrey Schlupp from the edge of the box early on. And I think Everton just have to get the ball into Harrison and McNeil and Danjuma because they're dangerous attacking players. And I think that there is goals in this game for them.
Yes, it is Seamus Coleman. Can he help provide that goal attack? It is Graham Neal now. One of the players Paul Bruno mentioned. It is Onana who loses out, but Coleman wins it back. Seamus Coleman coming forward. Onto Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Howard is on Danjuma. Shoots into the side next to from Danjuma. And on Danjuma going close there for Everton. It is a corner. Which took a deflection on that way there, but that's good play from Everton. And almost taking the lead there, Bruno.
Yeah, and I said that he's one of the danger men for Everton, Danjuma. His shot just takes a deflection. Hits the side netting, and Everton have a corner.
Yes, Everton with the first corner of the game to my reckoning. And he comes over on that far left-hand side. And they've taken it very, very quickly. McNeil. Back to Garner. Now Mikalenko. whips the ball in towards the back post, looking for Danjuma. He's headed away for a throw into Everton, and they will look to cause Palace a few problems. Danjuma takes the throw quickly to Jack Harrison. Harrison will look to get the ball in towards the penalty area and he can clear away. Slup chasing after this. Comes at first, and now Harrison towards Danjuma. Danjuma does well. Harrison back to Danjuma, who does a little trickery of with himself, and now comes in field. Gives the ball away though. Now Eze can try and fetch the ball away for Palace. But he gives the ball away now. Mateta has it. Can he keep hold of the ball for Palace? He can. Then lose it to Garner. Good battle in that midfield area there between Mateta and Garner, and it was an Everton man who come away on top. Awa then to Mikalenko. Garner back to Branthwaite as Everton are forced back to Virginia's. Now it's James Tarkowski back to Joe Virginia again. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0 here on the commentary, but also live on commentary 2, JB Sports. Focus on football and my personal Twitch channel as well this evening. Russ P. Vernon _92. If you're listening on Twitch and want to get involved, and you can also, what you can do as well, you can put, if you're about to go out any second now, and you're listening via Twitch, you can connect it up to your car and put it on audio only. Listen to it and listen to normal radio. So it's common with the crowd saying too much on that and into the crowd for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. And just the final ball in the moment from Everton and Crystal Palace, which is just laying this game down here, Bruno.
Yeah, but it is now Everton starting to get a bit of a foothold in the game, keeping the ball better than Palace and getting into more attacking areas. But they need better delivery of the ball. That was an awful cross because they've got a very good number 9 striker, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you get the ball onto his head, he's more than likely going to score.
Yes, and there is Sean Dyche, the Everton manager, watching on and just getting out his bottle of water. 2 others. He sees his Everton side coming forward, Jack Harrison. And that's running football through for Danjuma. It's Danjuma. Shot fantastically saved well onto the roof of the net by Dean Henderson. And the Crystal Palace goalkeeper keeps his side in it.
Good link-up play between Everton, Jack Harrison, Danjuma, creating problems in that Palace defence. And once again, Everton really stepping on the pedal now.
Yes, fantastic run again. And there's a fantastic save from Danjuma. From Danjuma, this fantastic save from Dean Henderson is now Everton have a corner. You can see Danjuma there. Neil will take it. Whips the ball in towards the near post. Headed away behind for yet another corner, which will be taken again. It was Mateta who headed this one clear this time from just underneath his own crossbar there. And he managed to clear it away from goal and out for a goal, for another corner, which McNeil will be taken again. Dangerous corners from Dwayne McNeil. He's done another dangerous one. But this time he's Anderson claims it and then Tarkowski bumps into him. Smiles between the 2 players. But that one this time was too near Dean Henderson as we see the save again. And then he drops it. Tarkowski tries to go on the end of it. And a little shoulder charge. And a smile between the 2. And the play will get underway. Coming close 21 minutes. Goal remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. And it goes back then now to Dean Henderson. Long ball forward from Dean Henderson. Although he goes around inside for Schlupp. Who flicks the other one looking for Mateta. But Tarkowski is there. Tidying up at the back for Everton to Virginia. And he will look to get the ball forward with it. Yes. Now Virginia gets the ball forward. Looking for the run of Danjuma and Calvert-Lewin and Jack Harrison. But Crystal Palace back in possession with Mitchell to come forward. And line is Schlupp when he takes out the play for Everton throw. 21.5 minutes gone here. Remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. If you're just tuning into us here on the commentary, we're also live on the commentary 2, JB Sports. Focus on football. And my personal Twitch, Russ P. Vernon 92 _92 is where you can listen to us on Twitch tonight. Hopefully you're doing fantastically well. Yes, and that was a good save from Henderson a couple of minutes ago. And Paul says probably the best chance of the match so far, which is I think what Bruno referred to as well. But that's a fantastic. That was a good save from Henderson a few moments ago, and Isabel said the same as well. As here comes Crystal Palace with Mark Gurty back. It goes into Henderson. Henderson clears the ball downfield, looking for the run of Jeffrey Schlupp. Heads up there from Coleman. And Nana wins the header. Breaks back for Jeffrey Schlupp down the line. It goes this time from Coleman, looking for the run of McNeil against Mitchell and Gay. Gay, brilliant back heel to keep the ball for Palace. Into Eze now. Eze back to Gay now. Eze gets it again. Across to that far side of Nathaniel Klein. Down the line it goes, into the path of Franca. Franca goes in field, still going Franca. Can he get a strike in? No, he can't. There's a free kick on the edge of the box. By James Tarkowski. And Palace. Their free kick. That's a good play from Franca. Doing that free kick there, Bruno, on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, it is a good play. Frank, the replacement for Michael Olise, and he's probably the player that Crystal Palace right now would really want over this free kick. He's scored a few in his time for Palace, but it's a dangerous position nonetheless.
It is it's just Tarkowski trying to work out how many players Virginia wants in his wall and where he wants them. As they're standing over this free kick, Joachim Anderson too. Mateta in the penalty area, Klein just a couple of yards back from where the free kick is going to be taken from. Eze's standing over this now, and he looks like he's going to be the one taking it after Anderson moves away, which is on the edge of the box as well. Mateta just standing near the wall that Everton have built. Eze will put the striker goal here. Just inside the D, edge of the penalty area. Eze goes for goal and he fires it just into the crowd behind that net there. Too much on it, but couldn't keep his effort down.
Yeah, decent effort from Eze. He's not really the Crystal Palace free kick taker. That's the other star man, Michael Olise, but of course, being him out injured, Eze took to the plate, but just couldn't produce there.
Yeah, it's just lacked a bit of quality in the final third. Again, there, that set piece did. It weren't really troubling Virginia, and I don't think it would have even troubled Jordan Pickford had he been in the goal this evening. Seamus Coleman will take the throw in for Everton as the rain continues to team down here in South East London at Selhurst Park. Remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. Ball across there now for Everton to attack as the ball is into the penalty area. Brilliant ball in by Mikalenko, who's putting under pressure the Nathaniel Klein, and now Danjuma can come away up against Nathaniel Klein this time, and he takes him on. Low ball in, deflected behind. It will be a corner to Everton. Good play from Danjuma down the left hand side again.
And he's been probably the one quality player so far. Nice link up play and nice runs. And he looks like Everton's most dangerous player so far.
Yes, after this, we'll be interested to see what Bruno reckons the Appian manager will be after this. We'll see what he thinks after this corner, which will be taken by James Garner in towards the penalty. It goes all the way through, off of the post. But from James Garner's corner now, Palace can break if they can get this right. But Garner is bad there, fantastic defence. So he played to get the ball back, but the referee is given a free kick, foul on Franca. But Bruno, opening 26 minutes of this game, out of the two managers, Roy Hodgson and Sean Dyche, who would you say is the happier manager of the two right now for you?
I think in terms of performance, Everton have been the better side. Sean Dyche will be happy with what he's seen in terms of getting into attacking areas, but I think that final ball is what's lacking. Palace haven't really been able to get out of their own half too much. They haven't been completely dominated, but they just struggle to find that quality in the midfield.
Yes, and I think both teams are struggling to find that quality in the midfield, really. When Everton come forward, it's bypassing the midfield, just going straight up to McNeil, Danjuma, Harrison and Calvert-Lewin, which I'm a bit surprised at. To be honest, as here comes Everton with possession as James Tarkowski comes forward out of the defence as Everton concede possession as Eze steps over the ball. Then Lerma gets there to make sure Palace don't lose it. Back it goes now to Anderson. Now Richards. Anderson again. Across now into the path of Gertie. Now Mitchell. Down the line it goes from Tyree Mitchell. Good bit of play there from into Schlupp. Now Lerma. Good work. Breaks for Richards, who can get this ball forwards. It goes back into Anderson, who can go forwards and cross field. And that's a brilliant header from Mitchell, but can't keep it in Palace's favour. Now Palace will look to come forward, but Everton have won possession back after Richards going to keep that ball in play. And he sent it all the way out for a throw-in to Everton, which Dwayne and Neil will leave for Seamus Coleman to come and take. 28 minutes on the clock. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. We see some fans, Everton fans, as this talking on our monitors in front of us as Coleman picks up possession from that throw-in from Harrison and he gets it back again. And now it's McNeil. Coleman again. Palace will come away with Sheffield Schlupp goes in field. And Nana with a superb challenge. Isaiah opposite for Anderson. And now Nathaniel Klein. Down the line it goes into the path. There of Franca. Back it goes to Klein. Richards. He tried to play it forward, but he's been forced backwards by Jack Harrison. Now here comes Everton to get back and do some defending. Mitchell comes forward for Palace. Lerma has it now. Switch of play from Lerma. Brilliantly to Franco up against Mikolenko there. Franco goes on the outside and he watches it go behind and he's behind for a goal kick. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0, 29 minutes on the clock. And this first half has flown by, been good end-to-end stuff at this moment in time, but no goals at this moment in time. Let me just remind you, if it is 0-0 or 1-1 or 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, so basically a draw at the end of the 90 minutes today, we will go to a replay at Goodison Park in around about 10 days or so's time. But if we get to win it today, it'll be out now winner and they will go through to the next round. No extra time and penalties this evening. Everton have a throw to defend, which Anderson leaves for Nathaniel Klein. Former Rotherham United goalkeeper and temporary goalkeeping coach Billy Mercer on the Everton bench, the Everton goalkeeping coach these days. Under Sean Dyche, he was with Sean Dyche at Burnley as well, when Dyche was in charge of the Clarets. Came in when Rotherham had a temp waiting to appoint Matt Taylor before he's now left, and Richardson's now in charge at the Millers in the Championship. Here is Onana for Everton in this FA Cup tie. Rotherham travel down to the capital tomorrow in the FA Cup to take on Fulham. Do the Richardson's men will turn around in positive form for the Millers under new boss Liam Richardson as well. They're looking to put an FA Cup run together this time around. Here is Onana as Palace get back to do some defending. Everton have possession. While there is Garner, back it goes into the path. Mikolenko and Nana to Garner again. James Garner coming forward. Wonderful run from James Garner. Down the line it goes. Infield looking for Harrison. Palace intercept. And now Franca does well. Back to Klein. Forward towards Eze. Onana's there. Into Garner. Wonderful bit of play this. Now Mikolenko. Back it goes into the path of Branthwaite. Now Onana again. Branthwaite once more. Down the line it goes into the far side in Danjuma. Now Jack Harrison loses his footing. That was Garner who lost his footing that time, and now for a throw-in to Crystal Palace. Luke and Paul are two of our colleagues, are in love. Now there's going to be some replays this season. Luke says, "Yay, replays!" Paul says, "Might not be a popular view, but I love cup replays." What
think
I'll
we're
say
in
to that,
the last
what
year
I'll
of
say
that
to
now.
that, yeah, last year that now Bruno, as Bruno rather mentioned. But what I will say to that, though, Bruno, I love good replays, but unless he's involved your team.
Yeah, I get that, and I think managers have a different opposition to loving replays as well. I don't think, especially the Premier League managers with a packed fixture schedule, and those especially involved in European matches, they're not delighted with having to have an extra game on a Tuesday or Wednesday night.
No, absolutely not, Bruno. Absolutely not, my friend. And just want to give a shout out to a video which went up last night. We did have some Premier League action last weekend, Saturday, Sunday, New Year's Day, which was Monday, Tuesday, and Tuesday. So go and check out the latest Premier League review show after you've listened to this commentary where myself and Luke Turton reviewed all the Premier League action. Luke standing in for Paul James, who's on annual leave until Sunday when he returns back to the commentary box as well. And Luke Turton says he bets us both, Bruno. Jurgen Klopp loves cup replays.
Oh, absolutely, especially if they're played at 12:30.
12:30 on a Saturday after a midweek Champions League game as well. As he's
Yeah,
Mateta now for Palace on the left hand side, puts the low ball in, deflects off Banthwaite behind for a corner. Well, this is going to be the play from Crystal Palace down the left hand side there. Jean-Philippe Mateta, brilliant run from him. Forces the corner, which Eze will come across to take.
yeah. First time we see Mateta really get into the game, and he's done well. He's won a corner of Brantford, and Palace finally getting into a good area with their first corner of the game.
Yes, and Eze will look to take it. And he gets this in towards the penalty area. Eze will look to take it. Eze whips the ball in, right on towards the back post. Edge go up and is cleared on there as far as Mitchell at the edge of the box. Now Frank looks to get the ball in. It's blocked by Jack Harrison. Anderson goes back now to Nathaniel Klein, and Klein will look to get the ball forward. And he switches it out wide to this left hand side, and Eze. Brilliant touch from Richie Eze in towards the penalty area. Schlupp, still going. Jeffrey Schlupp tries to deliver the passing off the ball. Comes away from goal. Schlupp is there. Heads it back to Mitchell. Palace keep the move alive. Mitchell will look to get the ball in. Well, no, he goes back to Richards. Out wide to Lerma. Down the line looking for Mitchell again inside the penalty area. Mitchell puts the low ball in. And he's saved at the near post there by Virginia. But this is going to be the play from Crystal Palace again. But that was a brilliant bit of crossing from Jeffrey Schlupp. And I thought he touched the crossbar. He then just raised the crossbar, but that's a good clearance from Mikalenko underneath the bar there. Schlupp was very unlucky not to put Palace into the leaders. Coleman now can try and fetch Everton away. Palace and Everton get as good as they got into the final 10 minutes of the first half. And Bruno, if I were to put you on the spot here and just say to you, in the opening, with the 10 minutes left to play in this game, I'll break off for a moment as Everton come forward for my question, and in case anything happens on this, and I may change my question. McNeil with the crossing, ended away by Anderson. Breaks for Garner, but Eze is there to win the header. Breaks now for Mikalenko, delivers the ball in. Header wide from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And that just goes wide there. Up to the final 9 minutes of this first half. Both managers stood in the technical areas. Which of the two managers do you think would be the happier of the two? I know you answered it earlier on in the half, about 15 minutes or so ago. Well, after what you've seen in the last 15 minutes or so of this game, in the final 9 minutes of the first half, what do you think would be the happier of the two managers?
Well, I think in the last 5 minutes, Crystal Palace have finally decided to find a bit of attacking prowess, and they've finally got a bit of a foothold in this game. I think it'll be very equal on the sidelines. I don't think either manager will be bitterly disappointed nor happy because their sides haven't created any chances of any note. But they've got into half decent areas. But I just think that the team that attacks this game more will be the victor at the end of the day.
It's be interesting to see how this game unfolds as Ismail Neil drops it all the way back there to Virginia, the goalkeeper. Now he finds Branthwaite as Everton look to try and end this half stronger. As they've been probably the more in the ascendancy for the majority of this game, apart from the last 5 or so minutes where Palace have fall back and go back into the game. Lerman now for Palace into Eze. And now Klein has possession. Richards back to Klein. Can't get the ball forward. As now here comes Danjuma. Danjuma gets the ball forward in towards Cavallini, who's inside the penalty area. And Henderson comes rushing out and claims it well. And thought about bowling it out quickly, but waited because if you pull the ball down to try and bowl it or kick it forward, I mean, Cavallini was behind him and would have been able to nip in and probably put Everton into the lead unless he'd recovered quickly. But here's Margate now for Crystal Palace. He looks up and finds Jefferson Lemon. Looks up again. There's a wonderful ball over the top looking for Jean-Philippe Mateta. Mateta does well to hold off Branthwaite. Still going Mateta into Mitchell now. Tees up for Lerma. Breaks for Eze. Now Richards. Margate again. He can let's just ball forward for Palace. Good play to Jeffrey Slub back to Margate. How wide it goes now into the path of Mitchell. He can come forward. Mitchell does well. To the penalty area for Eze. Edge of the box. Tees up for Jefferson Lerma. And just over the bar in the end from Jefferson Lerma. And Crystal Palace, probably their best Everton goal there. We just couldn't keep it down.
Yeah, nice strike from Lerma, signed for Bournemouth in the summer. And as I said, Palace they're sort of stepping up now, and they're getting into better areas. They're getting the ball into Mateta, and that's helping. He's doing well holding the ball up. And the better areas they're getting in, the more chances they'll have.
Yes, it remains Palace 0, Everton 0. If you're just tuning into us here on the commentary of Russ Vernon alongside Bruno Winter, bringing you this game as Everton will look to go along there from Virginia, but goes out of play for a throw into Crystal Palace, which Tyreek Mitchell will take in the left back area. We'll just a bit further forward in the actual left back spot, just in midway inside the Palace half as he looked to get the ball forward. Down the line it goes, looking for Mateta to flick on. And then Everton just get the ball back as Coleman can get the ball forward, looking for the win of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who up against Gay, he puts football, he put out for a throw-in. And Gay will get the players to mark up some of the players who are free. Everton comes short to get it. Here's McNeil now. With the crossing towards the penalty. Heads go up and clear away. Comes for the goal, the shot is blocked. And Palace just managed to clear away, but the free kick is being given foul by Calvert-Lewin. But that's a good chance again from Garner. But his effort was blocked there, Bruno.
Yeah, Everton, they have been quite quiet in the last 10-15 minutes, but that was a good play, getting the ball into Calvert-Lewin. Just fouls his defender there. But it's an interesting end to the half.
Yes, into the final 5 minutes of the first half remains 0-0 between the two sides. If you're tuned in right now, guys, I know there's a few people tuned in. I want to ask you guys a question. I'll probably ask you at half time, Bruno, or next time the ball goes out of play. But to our listeners, put in what you think the final score is going to be from what you've seen or heard of the opening 14 and a half minutes of this game, coming towards 41 minutes of this first half. Let us know how you think the game is going to end. Will it go to a replay, or will Everton win it, or will Palace win it? This is a clash of heads there with Amadou Onana, what's my name, down on the field of play, and after a clash of heads in the centre inside the Palace, Everton half clashed heads with his opposite number, Jefferson Lemon, the 2 number 8, clashed heads there.
Well,
Luke
I think
says,
I agree with some of the scores. I agree with some of the scores, and I would just say that
a replay, and Paul says 0-0 and a replay. Bruno, which one are you going to go for?
I agree with the 0-0s, and would just like to add that I think your singing there has been the most entertaining thing in this match so far. It's really been a slow burner.
Thank you for that, Bruno. I don't think Will likes it, guys, but oh no, not the Onana song. Well, look, I've got to add a bit of entertainment there. When the football's not been that entertaining, someone's got to add the entertainment to the coverage, and the players aren't doing it on the pitch for us. So I thought I'd do my Onana song. I may do it again at half time, or if he gets sent off. Here's Henderson though with the goal kick for Crystal Palace. Sends it long looking for Mateta, wins his header, but Garner is in there to McNeil. Now Jack Harrison back into where McNeil can take it on his stride, but he's on ball. Palace have possession back. Mateta being held by Branthwaite, but Everton have the ball again. Breaks for Schlupp. Okay, the ball for looking for Mateta. Can he get that? No. Fantastic challenge there from Seamus Coleman, getting back, putting bodies on the line, and making a vital challenge to keep this game a 0-0 there, Bruno.
Yeah, it's just an excellent challenge from Seamus Coleman, using all of his experience to get in the way there. Great block and saves a good opportunity for Palace.
Yes, good challenge there for good effort. Good attempt there for Palace, should I say, but good challenge from Seamus Coleman as this ball is played forward. There's the heads go up and it's out of play for a throwing off. There's of Richards and there is Mateta. We just see him go through there from Jeffrey Schlupp. But watch this for a challenge. Fantastic sliding challenge there from Seamus Coleman to put a stop to that Palace attack and keep it in 0-0. As now Palace can try and come on this attack. A wonderful challenge from Garner, but Palace have still got it with Richards. Nice Franca. All looking towards Mateta. Brings it down well. Here's James Tarkowski. Can he fetch this ball forward? Onana. Now Branthwaite across there. Fantastic play. Here is Mikalenko. Down the line it goes to Danjuma. Can he get the ball forward? He can. Calvert-Lewin. Jack Harrison loses out to Lerma. Eze now. Good work here from Palace, who win themselves a free kick foul on Franca by Arnaud Danjuma. And I just want to say a big thank you to Paul and to Luke. Paul says, I'd just take my hat off to you, Russ. You can make any game sound entertaining and exciting. You really do a great job. Thank you for that, my friend. And Paul says, I agree with, and Luke says, I agree with Paul there. You would forget this is 0-0 with Russ commentating. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate your support. Here comes Crystal Palace with possession. It's Mark Getty can fetch this ball forward. Wonderful play up towards halfway and over halfway. And the ball looking forward towards Jeffrey Stubble. Brilliant challenge and interception from James Tarkowski. Now Jared Branthwaite back. It goes to Yao Virginia. He can fetch this ball back up to the final 30 seconds of the first half, plus any injury time he's going to be added on. It's Danjuma can't get under the flick on from Calvert-Lewin. It breaks for James Garner, who can't get McNeil away. And now here comes Crystal Palace. Wonderful bit of play from Schlupp. And now Mitchell and now Eze. Gertie into Richards. Anderson. Good play this now is Klein. Good ball down the line for Lerma. Mateta. Good control. Richards stoppage to the end of this first half with 7 minutes. I think it's 1 minute at a time. Get confirmation shortly. This one inside the penalty. Shot is blocked. Yes, 1 added minute. Klein now. Down the line he goes for Lerma. In towards Franco, can keep it onside. Franco puts the ball across. And somehow it doesn't go in. All he needed was a touch inside the penalty area there. And Palace needed to be. And Palace would have been in the lead. But somehow Mateta went too near. Went too far in. Here comes Palace again now. Eze. Wonderful bit of play. Mark Getty. Schlupp. Still 0-0. Getty. Eze now. Brilliant play from Eze into Mitchell. Down the line he goes for Schlupp. Schlupp across. 2-0 the goalkeeper. Offside flag was up there in the end. So he went to countered. We remains 0-0 as we come towards the end of this first half as the half-time whistle does go. No free kick. Time to say that free kick for Everton with John Virginia as the half-time whistle goes. It remains 0-0 at the end of the first period between Crystal Palace and Everton. And just before we leave you for the half-time interval, Bruno Winter, your thoughts on that overall first half?
Well, I don't think there was really much to say other than I'm glad that it's over. It's been a very disappointing half of football. I don't think either side have been particularly dominant. But the good news is it can't get much worse. So I think that we're not exactly in for a treat in the second half, but I think that it will get better.
Yes, hopefully the second half will get better. We'll join us again in 50 minutes from now as we leave you at half time with the score. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. Join us again in 15 minutes for the start of the second half. Second half commentary will begin in 5. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the FA Cup third round clash between Crystal Palace and Everton. Here on the Commentary Hub, we're also live on the Commentary Hub 2, JB Sports and Focus on Football. We're also on my personal Twitch channel this evening, which is Russ P. Vernon _92 as we get ready for the second half. Russ Vernon alongside Bruno Winter for the second half as Eze and Crystal Palace will look to get us off and underway for the second half. It looks like no changes from either side has been made at half time. Chris Kavanagh is ready, the players are ready, we're ready as Eze kicks us back off and underway. Anderson will then play with a long ball over towards the far side towards Jeffrey Schlupp, and he goes out of play for a throw-in to Everton, who remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. If you just joined us here on the commentary, let's run you through the second half lineups then, all the lineups which started the game of this evening, and we'll run you through those now. Is Dean Henderson in goal for Crystal Palace? Is Nathaniel Klein, Mark Gertie, Joachim Anderson and Tyree Mitchell across the back? Chris Richards and Jefferson Lemmer in the midfield 2. Is Matthias Franke, Richie Eze and Jeffrey Schlupp in the midfield trio behind Jean-Philippe Mateta in attack. As for Everton will break off as here comes Mateta with a ball in towards the penalty area, looking for Franke. Can he keep the ball in there on that far, on this near side? Franke, he can. A bit of play this from Frank. It goes in towards a penalty, looking for Eze, but that ball runs out of play for a goal kick to Everton, who landed with João Virginia in goal. Seamus Coleman, the captain, James Tarkowski, Jared Branthwaite, and Vitaly Mikalenko make up the back four. Amadou Onana and James Garner are the midfield trio. Dwight McNeil, Jack Harrison, and Onut Danjuma are behind the lone striker of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The subs for Palace is Matthews, a sub-goalkeeper, Tompkins, Riedewald, Adremoa, Ozo, Hughes, Amada, Eboué, and Edward. As for Everton, it is Pickford, the sub-goalkeeper, Patterson, Keane, Beto, Gomez, Godfrey, Chimete, Hunt, and Dobbin. Chris Kavanagh, the referee, assisted by Simon Bennett and Daniel Leach. Tim Robinson, the fourth official. They are Craig Paulson, Natalie Aspinall, and the other one, the support VAR, is Michael Salisbury. That's your teams for the start of the second half. We're going to force off Bruno the opening couple of minutes. Has gone in the second half as here comes Crystal Palace with Gertie out wide. There goes to Mitchell across now to Anderson, who heads it back towards his goalkeeper, Henderson, who can claim as the second half is underway. And Bruno, what do you want to see more of in the second half as the game is underway in the second half for the first time in the second half? What do you want to see more of from both sides in the second half?
Well, the easy thing to say is goals, and I just think they need more quality in the final third of the pitch. Both sides have really lacked that. I think Everton have come closest getting the ball into Danjuma, but I think they need to get their striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin more involved. And the same with Crystal Palace and Everett Eze. He's their danger man. He's their star player, and I think get him with the ball in attacking areas, and good things can come to fruition.
Yes, and we'll wonder if we will see a goal today. We did ask in the first half what we think the score's going to be in the second half, and I will tell you what the listeners were saying at half time. We did have Luke, who said 2-0 to Everton. Isabel says 0-0 and a replay, as did Paul James. And I can tell you the man to the side of me, Bruno Winter, also said 0-0 and a replay as well. Was looking like that was after 35 minutes of the game. I wonder if we'll see any goals in the second half, or whether they will remain 0-0, or whether we will get a winner. Here's Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's mentioned as the Everton danger man, but he can't keep the ball in play as it's now with time for a throw-in, which Tyree Mitchell will take. Coming up from left back, and Mitchell will look to go long downfield, looking for Mateta. It's flicked on by the forward. Breaks now for Mitchell up against Calvert-Lewin, but goes out of play for a throw to Everton this time. Calvert-Lewin putting himself about there, putting under pressure Mitchell there. Danjuma tried to go down the line. It's coming. Garner gets striking and goal they can, but just wide in the end. And James Garner can't keep the effort down, but the effort is always going wide and always curling wide in the end as well. And remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. And Crystal Palace will get ready to take the goal kick in the start of the second half as they try and come forward down that far side. Here's Dwayne Neal, and now Eze can get there. Can he get Frank away? Can on this near side. Back into Eze, edge of the penalty. Eze inside the box. Eze shoots. Wonderful save from Virginia, beautiful corner. And that's a decent effort from Crystal Palace. And that's the first meaningful shot on target from Crystal Palace in the second half.
Yeah, and I just mentioned they need to get the ball to Eberechi Eze in attacking areas, and that's what he can do. It's a really good effort and an equally good save from Virginia. And Palace now, if they can get that ball into Eze, they can really cause Everton some good problems.
Yes, and Eze, the aforementioned Eze, well, that's short and real things can cause Everton problems. He's meant to take this corner, and he whips the ball in towards the penalty. Flicks down, but Lemus straight down the throat of Virginia, who claims well and will look to try and get Everton away quickly, will he? Yes, with a long ball down for looking for one of Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison's putting Mitchell under pressure, and this under pressure. That was a good one from Jack Harrison. Made sure Mitchell had to make it. He got all the way back to the opposite number, Dean Henderson from Cal Virginia's long ball forward, looking for the on-loan Leeds United man. Leeds in FA Cup action themselves this weekend, Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock kick-off, away down at Peterborough as Crystal Palace looking for a free kick, no, won't get one, and he's behind for a goal kick to Everton. There was looked like a foul on Franke, had his shirt pulled by Mikalenko, then nudged to the ground. Referee and linesman on the near side said no. On our near side said no. There is now come forward. His Jared Branthwaite switching the play, looking for Dwayne McNeil. McNeil heads in field. Breaks for Mark Gay, who can clear the ball away. It's a free kick to Everton, fouled by Calvert-Lewin on Mark Gay. And now Lerma will fetch this ball. Well, he's took it from the wrong place. He's given the foul on Gay rather than the foul on himself. And this is the foul. And it was a definite free kick there, wasn't it, Bruno?
Yeah, it was. It was just one of those that I think everyone got a bit confused. But a definite free kick and just a chance to slow the game down. It's a decent start to the second half.
Yes, this second half has been much better start to it than the entire first half put together, Bruno, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't going to take much, to be honest, but it's good to see that both sides have come out with a bit of intent.
Yes, both sides looking to get on the front foot. Here is Franca trying to do that for Palace. Push Mikalenko under pressure, but Mikalenko does fantastically well to prevent the corner and only concede a throw and lose. Everton fans getting behind their team, as they always do and away. They're dancing up and down as Nathaniel Clan gets ready to take this throw for Crystal Palace. Will he go down the line there towards Franca? Goes inside towards Franca, and that's cleared away there by Branthwaite up to Calvert-Lewin, who loses out, and now Eze gets it out wide to Klein into Anderson. Eze, good flicking around the corner to Richards. Now Mitchell, he gets it further out wide for Lerma. We can't keep that ball in play, Jefferson Lerma, and he runs out to play for a throw into Everton over on that far side, which will be taken by Seamus Coleman. And he's back in the side today, Seamus Coleman, in place of Nathan Patterson, who drops down to the bench, and Patterson is looking forward to try and earn his spot back after dropping down to the bench tonight after playing in the league game last time out. As is Nathaniel Klein into the path there of Anderson, and Anderson will switch the play well. He brings it under control. Mitchell down the line he goes. Here he comes again as Palace will try and come forward. Slope is being forced backwards. Harrison trying to put Getty under pressure, force him backwards, but Getty does well to spin away from Jack Harrison, and the final ball forward is a poor one by Mark Gay, and he goes behind for a goal kick to Everton. And almost 10 minutes gone in the second half. Already much better than the first half, than what we saw in the entirety of the first half. But out of the two managers, Bruno, I just want to ask you, who do you think would be the happier of the two?
Well, I think coming out into the second half, I think Everton have probably been slightly the better side. Um, just getting the ball forward a little bit quicker than Crystal Palace, although Everett did have that chance for Palace. But I think it's both managers will be fairly content with the start of the second half. And I think we're in for a bit of certainly a much better game than we had in the first.
Yes, hopefully we'll see a goal this evening. Not many nil-nils I've done on the channel. My last nil-nils was the Liverpool against the Liverpool game earlier on in the season, which Liverpool Man United it was, and that was a poor match, to be honest with you. And that was a nil-nil game, and I thought that was my first nil-nil in quite a while. I'm hoping I don't get another one in a short space of time. It is Seamus Coleman. He goes back. He goes to the path of Tarkowski into Virginia, and he can fetch this ball forward. What can he do here now? Is McNeil. Back he goes to Branthwaite, who switches the play well and will fetch this ball under control. It's Coleman. Seamus Coleman inside to Jack Harrison. Harrison can he get the ball forward? He can. To Garner. Across now to McNeil on the left hand side. Delivers a cross in, looking for Calvert-Lewin inside the penalty area. Breaks for Onana. I'm not going to say it's joke just yet. I'll do it at some point in the second half as the ball is played forward by Everton and Coleman, but Tarkowski and Garner win the ball back together. And then Garner finds McNeil. Good play from Dwight McNeil. That's a cut inside. Finds Onana. Now Garner. How wide it goes now to Mikalenko. Mikalenko goes back to Garner via McNeil. Down the line to Jack Harrison. Harrison will cut in field. Back to Garner. Now Onana. And now here's Branthwaite. And now here is Mikalenko. Mikalenko with the crossing. Heads away. Only as far as Onana. And Onana has to get there a second time. And now Seamus Coleman has to get there and deliver a crossing towards the penalty area. And he goes all the way through. Nathaniel Klein can watch it. And Nathaniel Klein can clear it. And he deflects off Dwight McNeil behind for a goal kick. But Palace started to get pushed on the back foot here a bit, and everything started to get involved in the game a bit more now. But still, no goals in this game.
Yeah, better from Everton keeping the ball around the Palace penalty area, but they're just not able to carve open a chance, an opportunity. And will we see that one player, maybe Jack Harrison or McNeil or Dan Juma, take the game by the scruff of the neck and create a big opportunity for Everton?
Dean Henderson will take the goal kick. What can Everton conjure up here against Crystal Palace? Palace are defending well so far. So to Everton, but there's been no real times where they've come under any real sort of pressure. This could be the first time as Dominic Calvert-Lewin delivers a crossing towards the penalty area. Edge scope and cleared. But it's Harrison inside the box. Can we get a strike on goal? Well, he can't, Jack Harrison. He can this time though. It's blocked, cleared away again by Crystal Palace, and this time it was by Joachim Anderson all the way through to Jared Branthwaite, and now Everton have got possession back again. Down the line, it goes looking for the win of Calvert-Lewin and Danjuma inside the penalty area. But no, poor ball in the end from James Tarkowski, who looked to get that ball forward for Everton there. Remains 0-0. And now here is Mitchell. Down the line it goes. Tarkowski wins the header. Breaks on that far side for Palace and Schlupp. Schlupp goes down. Free kick to Everton. Foul on that far side. Foul by Onana. Free kick to Crystal Palace. And Amadou Onana is saying, "What, me?" Yes, Onana, it was you who fouled him, and he's in a good crossing position for Crystal Palace. And normally, on these sort of positions, where Palace can normally threaten and normally get the opening goal of the games from, but it's normally with Elise whipping them in rather than Eze or Elise again on end of it in the corner today. Frankie will have to try and be that Elise type play again on end of these balls into the box. Mateta will have to try and help out. Two more gay as well. Richards, Lerma, Anderson, Schlupp on the edge of the box. All in and around the penalty area there. Mitchell on the left-hand side of the area. Goes in towards the back post. Anderson's there. Virginia punches it clear. It breaks for the path of Jefferson Lerma. Back to Jeffrey Schlupp. Schlupp will strike a goal, blocked. And breaks for Jefferson Lerma. He keeps the ball in play, Jefferson Lerma. What can Lerma do here with possession? Jefferson Lerma will look to launch this ball in towards the penalty area. Will he? No. He will leave it for Nathaniel Klein to take it. Klein takes his shot to Franca. Back to Joachim Anderson. Can he get the ball in the box? He can. Round the back is Mitchell. Brings it into the air but can't keep it infield. And it's behind for a goalkeeper. But Palace, better from them. Just the final ball. Like it was in the first half. Just lacking from both sides.
Yeah, get a decent delivery into the box from the corner and then a bit of a scramble, and in the end Everton are able to clear it. But I think Palace just need to keep the ball up in this side of the pitch. They haven't got the ball often enough up into the attacking third. But when they do, if they can put the ball into the box, they've got some big men. The centre-halves are decent headers of the ball. And I think they can create problems, but they're just not doing it enough.
Yes, hour gone in, still 0-0. The ball from Klein is long downfield. Mikolenko just watched it go behind. It will be a goal kick. Mark Bright, the Crystal Palace legend, sat alongside Steve Parish, the Crystal Palace owner, in the director's box here. Mark Bright not looking happy. They're the one who's a Crystal Palace legend, friends with me on Facebook as well, is Mark Bright. The legendary Mark Bright is as Anderson gets there for Palace. They're looking for Palace if they can get through here with Mark Bright. As here comes Nathaniel Klein, and now that's a wonderful ball in field. What can Everton do here now as they get the ball back? As Franco's ball inside was poor. Cavalier wins the header. Breaks towards Jack Harrison. We now breaks for Nathaniel Klein for Palace. That's a good block by McNeil. And here's Dominic Calvert-Lewin who's always on the side. Calvert-Lewin's had a penalty. Dominic Calvert-Lewin! Straight down the throat of Dean Henderson. Far too easy for the Palace stopper. And he can get the ball out quickly, but Palace can't keep the ball in play as he tried to build Palace so quickly on the attack there. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin lost his bubble for his air at the moment. Putting it back in now. Calvert-Lewin with a great chance there, Bruno. We really should be hitting the ball a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tame effort in the end, and a decent area for Everton. But once again, just the quality in the final third has been really poor.
Jack Harrison, can he provide that now? There's behind for a corner. So if it's jumping in there, Bruno, as Everton win themselves a corner, Jack Harrison will look to take it. Will it to McNeil, or will he leave it? He leaves it for Garner to come across and take it. This could be where Palace fall behind. Everton decent from corners, and Garner's taken him. Garner's moving the FA Cup trophy back a little bit so he can get me more purchase of a run up onto this one. Anana in there, Tarkovsky, Calvert-Lewin, all inside the penalty area of the back post. And make one towards the near. He goes over the head of Calvert-Lewin and punched behind by Dean Henderson again. It's a corner on that far side for Everton this time. Neil will this time go across to take it, but that's a decent corner from Garner. Good punch from Henderson. Mateta was up there too. It wasn't a punch from Henderson. In fact, it was headed down by Mateta. Tarkovsky coming around the back. Thought he might have opened the score in there, but it wasn't punished. McNeil will take this corner this time. Still 0-0. Anana in there. Tarkovsky too. Comes in towards the penalty. In around the back post. Anana's there. It goes behind for a goal kick. And Anana, he's complaining towards the referee, Chris Kavanagh, saying it should be another corner there. Let's have a look at this one again. Is this a corner? Yes, it potentially should have been. Looks like it comes off Richards for me. Still 0-0, Billy Mercer there. The Everton goalkeeping coach watching on. A bit of paper in hand. Remains 0-0. Luke is right. He says, anytime any team wants to give us some quality, we wouldn't mind. No, we wouldn't, Luke. I don't think you'd mind if someone gives us a goal either, so you can press those magic buttons behind the scenes. You've only had to press it once for half time. It remains 0-0.
I think
Ray
a
Luton,
goal
Will Oscar, Paddy McCarthy,
would really be
looking
important
on.
here, I think.
Yes, whoever can get it potentially could go on to win this game as we into the final 25 minutes of this game. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0 in the FA Cup third round. As the ball up towards McTetra is headed away. Waits for Jeffrey Schlupp. On that far side, Schlupp goes down. There's Lerma who goes down. No free kick given. And now Onana can break in for Everton. Can he send Manil away? He can't. But Manil may still get there and he can. Manil has got Mikalenko on the outside of him and he finds him. Vitaly Mikalenko. Manil going on the other lap. Ball in. Anderson puts it in. And behind for a corner. Still 0-0. And Crystal Palace still complaining about the man going down inside of the Everton half. Nothing given. A ball in. Anderson with a fatal touch. Reflects over. And this is the one we're complaining about. Lerma going down there on the change of Jared Banthwaite. For me, no free kick given there. We'll just see this corner. And you can have yourself on that potential free kick. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. Just tuning into us here on the Commentary Hub. JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2, Focus on Football, and Russ P. Vernon _92 on Twitch as well. Still 0-0.
No foul from Branthwaite for me. I think it's just coming together and a good challenge.
Yes, corner about to be taken now then. And Luke Riley points out that Ian Warren, the assistant manager at Everton, didn't look happy that the goal kick was given down at the other end there. Everton with the corner this time. Can they go from Tarkos? Gets it back across goal. And all of a sudden, Amadou Onana! Onana! What was that? Onana! What was that? The poor miss, that's what it was. Still 0-0.
Great chance for Onana. Really, really got to be doing better. But it's the story of the game so far. Just no quality whatsoever in front of goalmouth action. It's a good chance it goes a begging.
Yes, I'm wondering, Bruno, whether I had a 0-0 and my last 0-0, Bruno, I'll tell you, was back on the 17th of December. I'm wondering whether my first commentary of 2024 will start off as a 0-0. And if it can,
it's looking that way. Sadly, to be honest, it's not been particularly good so far.
What we're saying afterwards, things can only get better. So you can always have goals in the next one. Speaking of next live action here on the Commentary Hub, we can tell you that our next live coverage is the FA Cup third round clash tomorrow evening. Tottenham Hotspur against Burnley. Join Nicholas Jones and Luke Turton on air from 7:55 as they bring you the game between Tottenham and Burnley in the FA Cup third round. Join us for that one and some more great live FA Cup action on the way this weekend, as well as here comes Dwight McNeil. What can he do with possession? McNeil does he need 1-2? There with Dan Drummond, back to Onana. Now Mikalenko. Down the line is Jack Harrison, who's onside. Harrison with the cross in towards the back post, headed away. And now Mitchell can have that ball further clear. Goes out for a throw, will it? Yes, Tarkowski lets it go for a throw. He takes it into Branthwaite. On halfway, inside the centre circle, over the centre circle now. How wide it goes to Mikalenko. Down the line it goes into Dwight McNeil. McNeil with the cross in this time. Cavalier is over his head. It comes across to Seamus Coleman, who keeps the move alive for Everton. Back to Garner. Into Onana. And now back to Garner again. Onside. James Garner with the low cross in. It's cleared away. Throwing to Everton. Seamus Coleman will take it, will he? Yes, Seamus Coleman will take it for Everton. No, I'm surprised neither's manager, Sean Dyche, has decided to go to the bench yet. We would have thought by now one of the managers would have at least gone to the bench, try and get a bit more fresh impetus and fresh ideas on. And Jack Harrison for Everton just keeping the ball well. And now Onana nips in. Back to Garner, who switches the play well into the path of Dwight McNeil. McNeil goes infield. Onana's there. McNeil again. Mikalenko's out wide. If he chooses to go that way, he delivers a cross in. Let's go. Punch clear by Henderson. Waits for Garner on the edge of the box. James Garner. Amadou Onana. Can he strike a goal here? Out wide it goes from Amadou Onana. Brilliant play. Into Dwight McNeil. Down the line it goes. Wonderful bit of play. Mikalenko's there. Back to McNeil. Good movement from Everton in the final third. Just the quality of the pass or the cross has been well then it's on in the final third. But Eze can come away with it. He gives the ball away this time. Garner. How wide it goes. Here is Onad Danjuma. What can he do here with possession? Here is Harrison. Onana to Garner. Back he goes to Tarkowski. Tarkowski across to Branthwaite. Branthwaite will look to get the ball into Tarkowski. And then across to Mikalenko. This is good play from Everton. Can he end with a goal here? Mikalenko. Jack Harrison. There's a penalty. The coach shoots, deflects. His ATS off his own player. He deflects him wide. We're better from Everton there. Still 0-0.
Yeah, and Everton look like the team that are probing and pushing for that opening goal. And I wonder if it's just a matter of time before we see substitutions come off from either side. I think Palace are creating. Are thinking about making a change already. But I wonder if Everton are going to make a change up top. I think Calvert-Lewin just hasn't been able to get into the game.
Yes, and Jeffrey Schlupp is off. He's replaced by Amada. No, Amada, who comes off, and Will Hughes is on in place of Frank as well. A double change there from Crystal Palace. And that's what we was just speaking about there, wondering if that's what we'll see in the Everton make a double change themselves in a moment. Potential replacements that Everton could fetch on to try and change a game is better. There's probably Shemetti as well, probably Lewis Dobbin, Ian Woan, Steve Stone, Sean Dyche, all stood in a circle together talking. As well as our next live offering on Friday, we can tell you we've got some more FA Cup action on the airwaves for you this weekend as well on Saturday afternoon. Join myself, Russ Vernon, alongside Luke Turton this time as we bring you the FA Cup clash from the game involving Sunderland against Newcastle. Nicholas Jones will be with us for that one as well. Nicholas presenting, and Paul James, who's listening tonight. Thank you very much for doing so, Paul. He'll be pressing the buttons that Luke's doing tonight for you on Saturday lunchtime for Sunderland against Chelsea. And the one after that, we'll see Arsenal against Liverpool with Nicholas Jones in the presenter's chair again. JB John Stuttard alongside Paul James for that one. And Nicholas also pressing the buttons as well. And hopefully we'll have the game on Monday as well for you with Mike Arneman bringing you Wigan against Manchester United. Luke Turton on co-commentary with him there, with myself doing the button pressing. Make sure you tune in for those live offerings. If any of the games can't go ahead, find out via our Twitter feed at Commentary Live 1. We'll also share it on the Focus on Football Twitter feed as well. Make sure you go and check out those. There you can go to Commentary Live 1, you'll be able to see the Focus on Football handle there as well. And you can get involved with that there too. Isaiah Mitchell brings the ball forward. Here's Lerma. As a good bit of full work. Here's Hughes. Can Palace use some of his experience to get through this tie tonight? Here it goes, Ramada, and they're back now to Anderson. Amada again, who loses out this time to Onana. And now Onana's got possession again. He's got Danjuma outside of him. He's got Cavalier through the centre. Cavalier's there. Oh no, Danjuma shot is set by Anderson is straight down the throat of him. But that's a good bit of play again from Everton. And a shot which was well taken. But good movement again from Everton. Just couldn't take the finishing.
Yeah, and Everton really look like the only side in this game that are creating many chances of getting into good areas. And with about 20 minutes left, is it going to be enough for them to find what's probably going to be only goal in this match?
This is Onana goes down under the challenge of Will Hughes, right into the back of his ankle and calf area. He now gets up onto his feet. Amadou Onana. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. Come towards the final 15 minutes of this game, and I'm starting to wonder, I'm starting to feel like, look, they're only going to get four button presses all in the entire game. I think you've done that one with the half time. You've done the one with the next game coming up. I think the next one will be when you announce who's the player of the match, which Bruno will have to pick shortly. And then the final one will be when the full-time whistle goes. So unless one of these teams can get their fingers out and find the back of the net, as Palace win themselves a free kick foul on Jean-Philippe Mateta by James Tarkowski. As we're into the final 15 minutes now. As ball switched across that line side. Here's Schlupp to Lerma. Will Hughes gives the ball away. It's Coleman intercepts. Now McNeil can send Calvert-Lewin away and he heads it down. Calvert-Lewin dead there, he can. Does well, Calvert-Lewin. Still going Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Can he strike a goal? Calvert-Lewin to McNeil inside the penalty. Go McNeil. Can he get back into Jack Harrison? Harrison can't get the strike away. It's cleared away by Crystal Palace. Everton will come forward again. Will they know is Ranthwaite being pushed in towards the crowd there? Nothing given. And he's slid into advertising boards there. We're just looking at this again. No doubt from Cameron. This is where Palace wanted the free kick for. He gets the ball and with one of his feet, with his knee, doesn't make contact with Nathaniel Klein, who stays down. And the physios will have to come on here for Nathaniel Klein. So he is injured. I think that's for more when he was shooting. iMedia Radio, Jingles and Gaming, thank you very much for tuning in. He says, hi, hello, Russ Vernon and Bruno and everyone. Hope you are well. Yes, me and Bruno are doing well, thank you. I'm sure Luke and Paul is doing well also. And he says, thank you for your commentary service. No problem, Media Radio, Jingles and Gaming. They are checking a potential red card here for serious foul play against Dominic Calvert-Lewin. VAR check is in progress.
Yeah, I think it's for the follow-through on the challenge, trying to get the ball and catches Nathaniel Klein. It's a bit is high. It's going to be an interesting one to see what VAR says.
Yes, VAR are checking it. Which we've got two people on VAR tonight, we've got three people on VAR. Craig Paulson, Aspinall, and Michael Salisbury. Craig Paulson is the overall video assist referee. That's Aspinall is assistant. Actually, with the support video assistant referee. And Craig Paulson's told Chris Kavanagh to come over to the monitor. When he comes over to the monitor, he's normally that a red card or what they think should be given will be given unless the referee tries to stick with his original on-field decision. He's not being. We've just seen this incident here. Yes, I can see why potentially could be sent off. We don't want to Calvert-Lewin. And we're just looking at this again. Showed you in real time 2 or 3 times, slowing it down each time now. Bruno, more and more as you look at this, what do you think the outcome's going to be?
Well, I think any time the referee goes to the monitor, there's the inevitable feeling that he's going to change his on-field decision. I think it would be a little bit harsh, maybe. But today, it's a red card. He goes sliding in. The studs are high. He just about.
And the referee's about to make his decision now. Chris Kavanagh is seeing it, and it's a red card for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He is speaking here now to Seamus Coleman, explaining why he's come to that decision. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin sees red. Everton are down to 10 men, and now Everton have got to mountain to climb, being down to 10 men.
Yeah, I can see why the referee's given it. On first look, it looked like he'd got the ball, but clearly you can see afterwards he's taken out the man. the ball's just ricocheted into him. He hasn't really won the ball in the challenge, and I think that's probably the correct decision. The studs were very high, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is off for an early bath.
Yes, early bath for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and there's things now to decide what Everton are going to do. Calvert-Lewin still making his way off the pitch. Play will not be resumed yet. He's making his way off the pitch. He's being waved by some of the Palace fans as he makes his way off the pitch and into the tunnel for his early bath. And he goes straight in towards the away dressing room there now. Poster studs up. That's the red all day for me. And I think that's what you were saying as well, as Arnaud Danjuma is being replaced by Beto, while we're seeing Dominic Calvert-Lewin make his way off the field of play. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0, down to 10 men. It'll be interesting to see if Palace can take advantage of this now, as here comes Will Hughes. Anderson, good play this. Out wide, goes for Jefferson Lerma. Good bit of work here. Can Crystal Palace come forward? Can is Hughes who can do this? Will he do it? No, he passes it to Mark Gaiety. Cross in towards the back post. He's brought down brilliantly there by the number 29, the substitute, Amada, who wins his side of throwing. He wins his side of corner, actually. Just going to see which side of the line he went out on. He went out for a corner. Corner's being confirmed. Eze across to take this corner then. Palace 0, Everton 0. Eze to take it. Paddy McCarthy, Ray Lewington, Wilson, all deep in conversations. Eze to take the corner. He's in towards the penalty area. Comes out to Amada, edge of the box. Amada shoots the goal and just drags his shot wide. Well, that was going to be the first goal of the game. When his shot was dragged wide, Beto's best moment was to clear it out of play, out of the box, should I say, from the corner. Straight to Amada there, and Amada's effort goes the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, and well, you wonder if there are going to be many more opportunities for 10-man Everton. I think Crystal Palace now have really got to ramp up the pressure. 10 minutes or so left in the game. They're a man up, and you just think, are they going to be the team that make the attacking changes to try and go on and win this game?
Yes, be interested to see what Hodgson turns to next when he will throw on Hodgson Edward, Malcolm Aboué, who can get in on the act as well and cause teams a number of problems. Looks like they're going to be making a double substitution here, Palace. Wonder if one of them is Edward, probably the other one maybe Malcolm Aboué. And if it is, I'll have got it spot on. I can see that Edward is one of them who's about to come on for Crystal Palace. Just going to see who the other one was, as it's still 0-0. 82 minutes on. It was 83 minutes on the clock. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. It'll be a replay, and if it's still like this after the replay, we'll have extra time. And it's still like this after extra time in the replay. This is we'll have penalties, but today we'll end at 90 minutes or 90 plus minutes with stoppage time. It's better to go forward towards the penalty. Better across and gone. Plays it over the top. He slipped as the ball come into him on the wet, greasy surface, and that's a big chance for 10-man Everton to take the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, even down to 10 men, Everton still look pretty dangerous, it seems. So you wonder if, I think they'd probably take the replay at this point, but could they find a way to maybe counter-attack and find a way to win this game?
Jefferson Lerma is off to be replaced by Hodgson Edward. Nathaniel Clan is the other one going off for Crystal Palace, and it's David Ozo who's the man who's coming on this time around.
Very attacking changes from Crystal Palace. I think that they really don't want to replay. They can see themselves with a man up with 10 minutes to go, going on and win this game, they'll be much more happy to do that than to go to Goodison Park on a midweek night.
Yes, Nathaniel Klein will now shrug off. Good performance from Klein, right back from me. In around about a couple of minutes, Bruno, I'll ask you to, or if you want to do it now, send across in the private chat to our producer Luke who your player of the match is going to be. And then in around about less than 90 seconds or so, or in about 90 seconds or so, I will ask you for your player of the match. So if you just want to send that over to Luke first, so you can get ready, well, then you can, and then I'll come to you in a few minutes for your overall decision. As here is the substitute Rosa, the player who's just come on for Crystal Palace. And he's Hudson Edward into Richards, Hughes, Anderson, rolling towards the penalty area. As his flips the ball out, and his shot is blocked. Behind for a corner, and the 10-man of Everton holding on. For one more day, it seems. And one more time, he's behind for the goal kick. This time the corner came in and he just went behind. We see the effort again from Eze, whose shot was blocked really by Tarkowski and was put behind in the end there. It remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. There's a man down behind the goal line for Everton here. He's trying to work out who it is. There's a stretcher over there as well. John Philip Mateta is booked for the challenge here as well. And it remains Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0 in the FA Cup. Joachim Anderson, who potentially has had a good game today, could be one of the player of the match. There's a man down for Everton trying to work out whose number it is. But he's got his shirt over his head, so I can't work out who this is. Down for Everton at this moment in time, just trying to work out who it is. He's sitting up now, but I can't see his name or number on the back of his shirt or number on his shorts. They haven't his shorts cut here. Play's now back underway. Everton down to 9 men while the treatment is being taken. It remains 0-0. And Palace can try and come forward. We'll give you our player of the match shortly. As here comes the substitute Amada. Out wide to Richards. Back to Amada again. Good ball into Joachim Anderson. Now here is Richards. Back to Anderson once more. Long into the penalty for Eze. Breaks for Mitchell. Harrison bad there defending and clearing it away. Here is Beto. Can Beto get the ball forward? He can to Jack Harrison. And Harrison could have been on the way there, but Chris Cameron brought it back for a foul. Free kick to Everton. Foul. It's either Arthurs and Nana tried to come away. It's better tried to come away with possession after he played the ball on to Jack Harrison. Foul by Will Hughes. The sub for Everton will see Dwight McNeil be replaced by Andre Gomes, who is coming on. And while the substitution is being made here, Bruno, if you'd like to tell us your player of the match.
Yeah, well, I think it's a game where defence have been on top, and I think it's only right that he goes to defender. And I think Everton have probably been the better attacking side, so I'm going to go for Crystal Palace defender. I'm going to go for Joachim Anderson. I think it was a toss-up really between any of the 4 centre halves, but I think that he's probably been the better player. some good blocks, some good challenges, and yeah, he's my player of the match in a game which must be said has lacked a lot of quality.
Yes, and it was, and I can tell you it is Dwight McNeil who's still down. The stretcher is now being brought for Dwight McNeil. He's got his left leg going into a splint over there. It's Dwight McNeil. So speedy recovery to Dwight McNeil from everyone here at the commentary hub. We hope he's okay. Still being amended to lie by the touchline. They've got the medical staff of Everton, the paramedics there too. Chris Cameron has just stopped the game for a moment as he's helped up onto the stretcher. Sean Dyche having a word with the fourth official while this is going off as well. Coming towards the stoppage time at the end of this second half. Dwight McNeil's now on that stretcher. He'll be lifted up in a moment after being just wrapped the cover around him to keep him nice and warm. And Dwight McNeil is being stretched away here as we enter a minimum of 9 added minutes. As the ball is flicked on. And on a winning for Everton. It's other. Jack Harrison fires over. Glorious chance for Everton. The tin man of Everton could have won it with the effort from Jack Harrison, but he can't keep his effort down and he goes over the bar.
Yeah, it's a very good chance for the 10 men of Everton. Wonder if they're going to get any more or many more chances to win this game. But I think now with 9 minutes of added time, I think Crystal Palace will really go for the attack here. They really, I'm sure, Roy Hodgson does not want to add another game, Goodison Park away in a midweek, to the fixture list.
And I don't think Sean Dyche will either with his Everton side just above the drop zone. As Eze brings it down well. Can he get a striking on goal? They can't. Can Everton get this ball away? It's up towards Beto. Will Crystal Palace just keep coming at Everton? Will they go back from the throw-in this time? Anderson, can he get the ball forward? Mitchell to Eze. Now Ozo, down the line he goes towards Mitchell. Can Mitchell get there? He can. Can't he? No. He's behind for a goal kick, and Mitchell with Coleman gives an high-5. There's Coleman just lets it. Ball stay where it is as Virginia has another one. He says, you can play with that ball, I'll come and play with this one instead. As we played 90 seconds of the stoppage time that we've had on, which is 9 minutes at the end of this game. Still 0-0 if you're just tuning into us. Yes, Paul, I'm actually glad there's going to be no more. There's going to be 30 minutes more of this action today that we've seen. But hopefully you enjoy my commentary to keep it sounding more entertaining than what it really has been. As here comes Crystal Palace to try and get a late winner if they can get the ball forward. It goes back to Anderson inside his own penalty area. Across to Mark Gahey. Gahey can fetch this ball forward. Can Crystal Palace get a winner here as it is fouled? He wants everyone to get forward. Telling everyone to get forward. Anderson, Richards, Gahey, Amada, all getting forward. Mitchell staying back. Eze will take this free kick and get the ball in towards the penalty area, will he? He will. He's inside the penalty area. Richards wins the header, cleared away. And can Everton break on Palace if we can get this? But Jack Harrison can't. Ozo does absolutely fantastic to get the ball back for Crystal Palace as Mitchell can fetch his ball forward. How wide it goes. Here is Eze. Still going Eze. Brilliant bit of running. And now Eze again, how wide to Mitchell. Mitchell delivers a cross in. It's blocked. Behind for a Palace corner. And the Palace fans getting behind their team now. We've played coming up towards 3.5 minutes of the 9 which has been added on. The Palace fans getting behind their team. Shouting for them to come on. And for them to get the goal which would tear them into the 4th round. Corner whipped in. Edge go from Anderson. He heads in the wrong way though. As a Palace point of view. Alison Edward lives a crossing, headed away. Anderson heads it down towards Will Hughes. The Palace can get caught out on the counter if Gomez can play this right. Jack Harrison can't get there. Gomez nips in. Andre Gomez nips in well. And now Beto, if he can get this, can get away from down the left, down the right hand side. For Everton, he can't. He's out for a throw in on the left for Tyree Mitchell and Crystal Palace. Palace can come forward here now. It's Margate. Oh my word, good end-to-end stuff now. Palace knocking on the door. Everton standing firm in this moment. Looks like we're heading for a replay unless we can find a late winner. Here is the substitute Amada. Down the left and down the right hand side. Lives across in. He's behind for a corner of Mikalenko. Crystal Palace 0. Everton 0. We have played 4.5 minutes of stoppage time to be added on. Eze to take this corner. Will he find a teammate in there? Will Hughes on the edge of the box? Will he make his way into the middle? Corner comes in. Heads go up. He's brought down. Everton just handle the ball clear. Jack Harrison chasing after this against Tyree Mitchell. He has to go back to his goalkeeper. Will he know? He can get the ball forward, but Everton have nipped in. But can't keep it. Gomez can't keep it in, and Garner can't either. And Crystal Palace have a throw in. Can they get the ball forward? Anderson gets it back to Mitchell. Joachim Anderson, our player of the match this evening, remember. Now here comes Richards. Good work here from Richards. Anderson again, the player of the match. Down there to Edward. And he gives the ball away. Now Everton, if you can play this right, can break and counter and win it potentially. Beto chasing after this. Anderson, he putting pressure. Beto's there. Beto does well to hold off the players. He said the penalty goes down. No penalty given. The referee says no penalty. Referee, let's continue. Can Palace find a late winner here now? Amara comes forward. Spreads it out wide to the left-hand side and Richards. And now Mitchell. Mitchell delivers a cross in. Comes towards Eze. And down for Will Hughes. And he gets striking a goal. Hughes still going. And Virginia comes out and claims it. And they're appealing for a penalty. Everton down at the other end. Foul on Beto. It's been held off there. And goes down by Joachim Anderson to nothing in that for me. Bruno, penalty for you or not?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just a little bit of a tussle, and I don't think VAR should look into that at all.
I can tell you, Bruno VAR aren't checking that either. It remains 0-0. Thank you to Paul, who says, you have done a fine job, Russ. Bruno too. It's just unfortunate the game couldn't provide the entertainment. And thank you to Media Radio Jingles and Gaming, who agrees with Paul's comment there as well. Thank you to you both. It's Eze has the ball for Crystal Palace. One last chance safe now for Palace. If the goal can go in now, it will surely be the winning goal. He can get this ball forward. It goes to Anderson. Now Richards has possession. How wide it goes. Here's Amara, cuts in field. Amara still going away from Mikalenko. Gitty has it. Eze. How wide is Mitchell? And Edward, 2. Eze. Strikes the ball. Eze! Oh, I thought he was in. Touched behind by Virginia for a corner. And that's a decent effort. For Crystal Palace, I thought he was in. But for a fine stop, that's the last minute for Virginia to keep it out 0-0. Corner kick to Palace. Incoming. Can Palace find a winner? Palace seem to be the ones that are knocking on the door to try and get a winner. Eze, the latest one, going close there. He take the corner now into the penalty area. Edge go up and headed away this time by Everton. And now he's pumped downfield. He's out for a throw to Everton. And Everton fans clapping their team. They've defended resolutely ever since going down to 10 men. Looks like they may be getting a replay from it. Oof, what a fantastic... Well, despite the game lacking quality, I've really enjoyed being in this game too, and really enjoyed being alongside you, but it's been a joy to work alongside this evening.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, it's been a better game in the last few minutes. Crystal Palace have really picked up. They understand the importance of not having that replay and whether the man up. I'd like to see them be a little bit more expansive and explosive in attack, but looks like it's going to be a replay at Goodison Park.
Unless Palace can get the ball forward and quickly and get a late winner, or Everton can win the ball back and get a late winner. Not with the ball like that. Gay, can he keep the ball in play? 10 seconds of stoppage time to go. Well, then, let me stress, it is a minimum of. Gay sends the ball long. Headed away. Can Richards get there? No, he can't. It's Jack Harrison who can. That's the last touch of the game. No goals in the match. But what? We've had plenty of chances. Palace going through towards the end. When they had the 11 men, could have made the pressure, could have made the man advantage count. Everton did well to dig in, get themselves a replay. The Goodison Park in around about 10 days' time. It's finished Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. And before we go, Bruno Winter, your thoughts on the overall on the game this evening?
Well, not the best match in the world, but and I think Crystal Palace will be the more disappointed of the two sides, especially playing against 10 men for a decent chunk of the second half. Everton will be happy to take the game back to Goodison Park. I'm sure that will be a very difficult place to go for the visiting side, especially in a midweek game. And it picked up in the second half, certainly once Crystal Palace found a little bit more attacking prowess. They were better. The game opened up a bit more. Everton had a couple of chances on the counter-attack. But overall, I think a poor, disappointing game that really wasn't quite fit to be the opening game of what hopefully is a very intriguing FA Cup third round.
Yes, both teams will be in the act for the FA Cup fourth round draw, which will take place on Monday evening, but full time in the game at Selhurst Park on FA Cup third round weekend, and the third round opening match of the weekend is finished. Crystal Palace 0, Everton 0. From myself, Wes Vernon, from Bruno Winter, my co-commentator, from the producer Luke Turton. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again real soon. Thank you to those who have tuned in: Paul James, Media Radio, Jingles and Gaming, Isabel, Luke Turton as well, who's been listening as well this evening. Thank you very much for choosing in and tuning in. We really did appreciate you listening in. And if it wasn't for you guys, there wouldn't be a thing worth doing. Unless, if you want to listen back to this game, which I doubt you will, you'll be able to listen back to it in full later on our YouTube channel. If you listen over on Twitch, thank you very much for doing so. We really do appreciate you tuning in over there. But from all of the team here on the Commentary Hub, on JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2, focused on football, and my Twitter is RussPVernon_92. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow on all those platforms as we bring you Tottenham against Burnley from 7:55 in the evening. From all the team here, it's a good night and a goodbye for now.